Grüezi, buenos dias and hello. Welcome to the February edition of Big Numbers. Big numbers, but most of all, big footsteps, as I will take over this channel from Andre Book, who went into his well-deserved retirement. My name is Pascal Hollenstein and I'm Senior Relationship Manager at Swiss Exchange, and it will be my pleasure to build on the legacy that Andre has left over the past editions. So far, the first time the big numbers will include figures from the Swiss and Spanish Stock Exchange, who are both operated by SIX. Let's start with the Swiss figures. The main highlight last month has certainly been the new all-time high reached by our blue chip index SMI. On February 24th, it crossed the 13,000 point threshold for the first time in its history, and 2 days later it reached its highest closing price so far at 13,042.5 points. At month end, it stood at 13,004.5 points, which represents an impressive year-to-date performance of 12.1%. On the trading side, overall turnover on Swiss Exchange was up by 2.7% compared to last month, but 20.4% compared to February 2024. Year-to-date, the increase is even 21.9%. This is strongly driven by the equity segment. In February 2025, turnover reached 76.8 billion Swiss francs, an increase of 18% over the previous year. The biggest year-on-year increase was, however, recorded in the ETF segment. In fact, turnover has more than doubled, reaching 11.2 billion last month. This includes our ETF RFQ service, Quote on Demand, which had the second record month in a row. It surpassed the 1 billion Swiss franc mark again, with a total volume of 1.2 billion, which is 17.9% higher than the previous month of January. Talking about strong performances, this can also be said about our products with crypto underlyings. They registered a year-to-date turnover of more than 1 billion Swiss francs and more than 15,000 trades. A highlight in the listing space was the IPO of Bioversis at Swiss Exchange on February 7th. At an opening price of 36.5 Swiss francs per share, the resulting market capitalization of this pioneering biotech company was around 216 million. This IPO was a good example of a biotech company preferring an IPO at Swiss Exchange to one overseas. It reinforces our positioning as Europe's leading life science exchange and demonstrates that Switzerland provides an attractive and dynamic environment for life science companies to scale and to succeed. On the product side, structured products once again recorded over 10,000 new listings in the reporting month, for a combined total of 21,127 products so far this year, a 23.1% increase over the last year. Let's now come to the figures of BME Exchange. In Spain, equity turnover reached 28.4 billion euro in February, a month-on-month increase of 16.7%. Across all segments, a turnover of 38.9 billion represents an increase of 14.5%. While the equity segment recorded slightly less transactions, both fixed income and ETFs saw a strong increase over the last month, with 24.3% and 31.1% respectively. Overall, BME Exchange recorded around 2.7 million trades, about the same as in January and also in February last year. Like the SMI, the Spanish IBEX 35 index also showed a strong performance, reaching 13,347 points. This represents an increase of 7.9% over the previous month. Since the start of the year, the IBEX 35 has progressed by 15.1%. On the listing side, BME also welcomed its first new company joining the main market this year. HBX Group has gone public with a reference price of 11.50 euros per share. Corresponding to a stock market valuation of 2.84 billion euros, the incorporation of HBX confirms the Spanish stock exchange as an ideal market for companies with a strong technological component. These were the big numbers of Swiss Exchange and BME Exchange. We hope you liked the extended format. Thank you very much for watching and see you next month.
are celebrating the IPO of Bioversus with more transparency on the Swiss Stock Exchange, with credibility, with access to a wider and also deeper pool of investors. We are going to support you on that mission to make the world a healthier place. Thank you for choosing SIX Swiss Exchange as your listing venue.
Today is a very special day for Bioversus. Seeing our name and ticker on the exchange feels incredible and is a major milestone for the company. It feels really amazing to be standing in front of you today, especially when I think back to the time when we started Bioversus out of a PhD thesis at the ETH Zurich. With this step, we want to increase the visibility of Bioversus by accessing the global capital markets and thereby engaging investors around the globe to participate in our mission and in our success. As a Swiss company that started from a Swiss university, there cannot be a better place than the SIX Swiss Exchange to list. And we are proud to start our next growth phase from our home market.
First and foremost, I want to congratulate the company on this fantastic achievement. In particular, Mark, the founder, and of course the incredible team he's assembled.
I think, first of all, thank you for the passion within Bioversus. I think it's something that's been contagious. We've all felt it, and I think the market will feel it quickly.
Ladies and gentlemen, we open the market. You can ring the bell, yes.